Call it genetic or not being able to take care of yourself. Sometimes we can't exactly tell how old someone is. Just like that guy James Rodriguez, who introduced himself to the world stage through a thunderous volley in a World Cup game against Brazil. The forward looks like the lead singer of a famous boy band. Even today, his looks haven't changed much. But guess what? He's almost 32 years old and still looks like a schoolboy. The former Mexico international was quite the goal scorer back in the day. At Manchester United, he was a super sub who would score at the death. Eventually, he took his business to Germany. It's been nearly 10 years since we've seen Chicharito scoring goals for fun, but one thing hasn't changed. The 35-year-old still looks the same young striker Sir Alex Ferguson first scouted in Guadalajara. Age is just a number. The Tottenham talisman has been on a roll ever since he first arrived in the Premier League from Bayer Leverkusen. The only thing that's different about the Korean forward from his time in Germany is that now he's an even more devastating player. Other than that, nothing has changed. He's well into his 30s, but still the same humble person who has the looks of a 20-year-old. Son really needs to let us know how he's managed to beat aging. Can you believe that Thierry Henry is 46 years old? The legendary Arsenal striker was such a lethal hitman back in the day. Since retiring from the game, he's tried his luck as a manager with varied success, but that's not the point. The point here is that if you were to ask Henry to get his shooting boots on and replace anyone in the starting 11, he would not be out of place because this guy still looks like a player in his prime. We seriously need to know what Romelu Lukaku's mum was feeding him when he was a baby, because the Belgian striker looked way too old for a 17-year-old. That was when he was trying to make a name for himself at Chelsea, and in Belgium before that. How can someone be 17 and look like they're at least 27? At the age of 37, Manuel Neuer would still pass as an exciting talent to watch out for in any list covering the stars of the future. That's because his looks are still the same as they were when he was playing at Schalke 04. The German shotstopper has had his fair share of injuries in recent years, but every time he stands between the sticks, he unleashes his inner Gandalf. When he scored that memorable goal as a 16-year-old for Everton, Wayne Rooney was a fresh-faced prospect who had the world under his feet. Even during his earlier days at Manchester United, he still looked like a kid. But the Wayne Rooney of today is a complete stranger to the one who terrorized defenses a few years ago. At the age of 40, Rooney looks like a man who's crumbled under the weight of this world and has no way of knowing which direction his life is taking. It's just sad, really. And to think that he and Cristiano Ronaldo are the same age, with the latter still boasting the body of a 24-year-old. When he made his debut for Manchester United, Jesse Lingard was the same player with a boyish look and a boyish attitude towards life. Fast forward to 2024, and the English forward is still having the time of his life and has the same boyish looks he had 10 years ago. At the age of 30, Lingard has maintained his physique, and while he may be struggling to find a club, at least he can say that he looks a lot younger than most of his cohorts. Arjen Robben was a class apart in every sense of the word. However, what he did not notice during his early days in the Netherlands was that he had a receding hairline. On top of that, even as a teenager in the Dutch Eredivisie, Robben looked older than his age. And once his hair was gone, he was no longer considered an exciting young talent, even at the age of 24. While he did leave Chelsea for China when he was still young, Oscar made really good use of the money he's been making there. Still, one of the best paid players on the planet, Oscar was a delight at Chelsea. They say that Chinese food helps stop the aging process. Oscar left for China in 2017 when he was 26 years old. Now he's almost 33, but he still looks 26. Now, I'm sure you must have seen clips where babies are born mature. You know, the expression, the facial hair, the whole 9 yards. Former Lazio player Joseph Minala was born walking, because the moment he made his debut for the Italians, most people watching the game would have been like, nah, no way in hell is this guy 18, because Minala looked more like a coach of a team rather than a player himself. No wonder the Italian FA started an investigation into this, but eventually it turned out that the Cameroonian midfielder was in fact 18. And Minala still says that the entire investigation is the reason why clubs in Italy were conditioned to not treat him the way they would any other young prospect. But did you know that Toulon spent the last 10 years of his playing career trying to look more and more like George Clooney? The former France international was such an amazing midfielder, and even in his late 30s, played with the verve of a player in his 20s. His graying hair was all genetic and played a big role in him looking like a manager who decided to insert himself into the starting 11. During his unveiling as a new Bordeaux signing, Toulon was 32, but he looked like he was nearing 50. The legendary Portuguese midfielder was the Rolls-Royce of every team he represented, and that's because even when he was a young player, he still looked like someone who was at least nearing 40. When he made his debut for Sporting CP, Figo looked like he was nearing 30. When he made his debut for Barcelona, he looked 30 plus, and that was the same case when he joined Real Madrid. And here's a picture of Figo during a tour to New York while he was at Sporting. How old does he look there? Now, there are no prizes for this one because ever since we first saw him, Diego Costa has looked the same. The former Chelsea striker has had an amazing career and won pretty much everything at club level except for admirers, because he was a naughty boy in his prime. At the age of 24, Costa looked like a player who was looking for a final paycheck before retiring and saving up for a lifetime supply of beer and parties. This is Costa when he was 18 apparently. Unbelievable! So guys, these were some of the players who didn't look their age. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And before you leave, make sure to smash the like and subscribe buttons, turn on your notifications, and watch this next video. Till next time.